specialize in music most people hate. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our website. Let us share what rhymes with you.
Yo, this is John from Noise Dosage Media, and this episode is brought to you by Begrudgingly Benny. Interested in putting something horrific and grotesque on your next piece of merch? Benny is tucked away in the fiery depths of COVID quarantine, blasting the filthiest of old school death metal and drawing hideous creatures that he is waiting for you to adopt. Go over to Instagram and follow at BegrudginglyBenny and contact him if you would like some really weird original art for your band or label. Super professional, highly recommended. There it is.
I like that little intro, bro.
Hell yeah. I had Barney on Napalm Death, and he couldn't even, he was like watching, he's like, I don't know where to start.
That was a cool intro, man. I got to learn how to do that for my live stream.
All right. So to start off, the question I have right off the bat is, what's some of the best advice you've ever been given, like in your whole life, that you kind of use in the music industry, but in your everyday life?
Oh, wow, man. You gotta make me think, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's so many advices that's been given to me, really. I mean, it's hard to just kind of pinpoint one. It's just,
it doesn't have to be the best, but
yeah, but there's so many. I mean, fail fast, learn quickly.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
What was the advice? So fail fast and get up with it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you fail, I mean, fail at it pretty quick and learn from it. I mean, you know, there's no success without failure.
Right.
You're gonna fail regardless, but just, try not to fail at the same thing twice. Just learn fast from it. Okay. Oh man, I messed up. Learn, move on.
Right. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last time I saw you guys, it was with Overkill in Rochester.
Wow. I remember that place. It's kind of like an
anthology.
Yeah. It's like, it looked like a dance club to me.
Yeah. It's very narrow. Like,
yeah. But it was packed house.
Yeah. It was so packed. Like, it was such a good show. Like the whole
right
thing.
On. Yeah. It was a diverse bill. I mean, you had Mothership opening up, and then you had two thrash bands. That's an Overkill. But I thought that tour was amazing, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah. What is some memories with Overkill? Like just funny ones that happened?
You know what? I mean, everyone's usually every now and then we all got together after the show once in a while and just hang out, but it wasn't like nightly. Like every now and then we just jump on the Overkill bus and just hang out and talk. But that's it. I mean, we're older now. We're not 20s where everyone's going out partying every night and whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, it was really cool hanging out with Bobby. Bobby Blitz is a funny dude. And every time you're around him, man, he just makes you smile, makes you laugh. He's a cool dude too. Yeah. But, we were just more stoked on, being on that tour. It was a good package and just meeting the fans. And, every night we just kind of chill. But like I said, every now and then we, hang out with dudes and just let loose a little and just talk shop.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I noticed that you are endorsed by ESP, and is Mesa Boogie? I know I saw an Angle. That's what I use. I don't remember who was using that.
That was Rob. I use Boogies.
Okay.
Yeah. But those angles Rob's rig, his angle is sick. You know what I mean? He has
so good.
It's like a beefed up Marshall, I mean, he has the Angle preamp. It's an E530, and he's running it's one of those power amps. I forgot, but it's crushing, man. He has a really good tone. I dig it.
So, off of that topic,
yeah.
What was your first rig? Like, what was your first touring rig? Like, good one. You could say that was, acceptable.
Acceptable, like first touring rig. It was a Mesa Boogie half stack.
Yeah.
It was a Mark IV. I'm running two Mark Vs now. So yeah, the first one was like just a half stack, a head and a cab, and I just had used their foot switch But now I built up my rig. It's been one of those rolling racks, and I have a switching system and whatnot. So I got to the point where whatever I have in the US, I have a duplicate in Europe in storage. So I don't got to rent anything in Europe. I just have my own setup there, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now being a guitar player, this is a heavy question. Would you consider yourself being completed with, tone searching?
Oh, dude, tone
Because for musicians, that's one thing. It's like you're never done, but
with tone, you're always gonna tone chase, regardless. It's always, every time you plug in your amp, you're guaranteed every guitar player is always kind of doing this, like, especially in the rehearsal room. Like, dude, it sounded the same as last time. Nothing's moved. You're not in a different room.
Checking it.
You're still checking it, but you're always like, always trying to perfect your tone, which you're never going to get a perfect tone because you're always tweaking it out either at the rehearsal room or, when you're touring in a different venue. It may sound good one night. You get to the next venue, you're like, maybe I need a little bit more mids right here, because the room sounds different every night. But our sound guy is always, I have a cab clone, a Mesa Boogie cab clone, so he plugs direct to that. So he's always getting the same feed, except, he tweaks it out because each venue has different speakers. But he always knows when I tweak my tone out. He goes, "Hey, man, did you lower the mids?" I go, So, but you're at the end of the day, you're always tone chasing. You can ask any guitar player.
Yeah. So what was the best room versus like the worst room? You don't have to say the worst room, but like you always had to mess with it. You're never happy.
It's when I like rooms when they have wooden stages and there's like a subwoofer underneath it. And, we played some festival in Europe where it was concrete and I don't like it. I don't like the sound
that
of
brings
that.
up a good point.
And plus I don't like cabs on wheels. I like it without the wheels on the floor. That makes that makes a total difference.
Really? I've never heard that.
Oh, dude. Are you a guitar player?
Yeah, I have a 2x12.
Okay.
But I usually have wheels on the bottom.
A Mesa 2x12?
No, it's a 5150 2x12 with a angle.
You'll hear the difference, dude. I do. I don't like cabs on wheels.
Okay.
At all. If like when we go do like one-off shows and whatnot, and they have cabs and they have it on wheels, either I take the wheels off. If you can't, I just put it on the side.
Damn, I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, because you could. I don't know. I like it hitting my legs. I mean, I like to hear especially on a wooden stage. I like to feel the vibration.
Right. The chugging will actually.
The chugging. You could hear the difference, bro. Trust me.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe your relationship with like the Death Angel family? Like,
great.
It's
great, man. I mean, I've been jamming with Rob and Mark for like 19 years now. It's just like in any other relationship, family. There's a lot of push and pull. There's a lot of, friction, headbutting, and all that. But we've been together so long that we know what buttons to push and whatnot, and we know how to compromise and this and that. We're like bros. Like families. Like it's a love and hate thing. But I use hate as a lack of a better term.
Right.
Sometimes dude. And I'm pretty sure they feel the same way about me. Like sometimes they can get on my nerves. I get on their nerves, but at the end of the day, it works.
Yeah. Now, when it comes down to like pre-production, do you guys, does anyone have like a home studio, or like how does the inner workings of writing a record, from the beginning to now, how has it changed?
Dude, I mean, with technology now, it makes it so much easier. There's pros and cons, what I mean? I mean, everyone has like a home studio. I mean, I'm pretty old school, new school. I got a 24 track digital Porta Studio and a Kemper. Rob has the full setup of Pro Tools, and he could actually record really, really good demos. And he actually recorded our latest EP at his house. the EP we just released. You know, it's
Mhm.
acoustic. He did that all at his house. But I mean, with technology, it's pros and cons. I mean, you could literally write songs and send it to people. People could lay down their tracks and send it to you, and you get an idea. But
Right.
since nowadays, a lot of musicians and a lot of bands, you know, you have musicians living in other parts of the country or other parts of the world. But there's nothing like getting together in a room and actually jamming out and hashing out all the ideas. There's just something about being in the room,
Right.
the vibe of like the rehearsal room with the posters and the loud amps and, you know, the push and pull and just messing up here and just trying to dial it in. So
Now, would you say, you know, with this band being alive for so long, was a majority of the writing process like together, or was it, you know, writing on your own time and bringing it to the guys?
it was pretty much all together, and up until we did the Dream Calls for Blood, that's when, you know, it was just Rob and Will. They'd hash it out. We got to the point where, you know, it gets done quicker that way.
Right.
When it's just Rob's primary songwriter, he gets these, like, he records all the ideas or a basic skeleton on a click, just guitars and a click. He'll send it over to Will. Will gets a basic idea of what kind of drum beats he wants to lay down, and those two will get together and hash it out and get a skeleton going. And from there, Rob will record it and send it to everyone else, and Mark could lay down some vocals, or, you know, I'll lay down some cool guitar parts, and Damien could lay down his bass. It just makes it a lot easier that way. Yeah.
I think that's, you know, that question, you never know what you're gonna get. Like, I've gotten people that they're like, yeah, we just, you know, just get together, and then some people are like, he writes it all, you know, like
Yeah.
we don't. It's such a varying process.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the band and the individual, really. You know,
Yeah.
some people do like to get together. Like, there's bands, if you all live in the same county or in the same area, you get together. But, you know, now, I mean, we're, like I said earlier, we're not young. We're, you know, we have no responsibilities, and all we want to do is jam. Everyone's older now, got a life and stuff. So we just try to make the process much convenient, let's
Right.
say, you know. But, you know, we still have a rehearsal room. We do get together and jam when it's called for.
Okay. So what's like the craziest story? You know, I went to the Bay Area to go to a show, and so I'm from like Buffalo, Niagara Falls area.
All
And
right.
I went to California. I went to a few shows at the Whiskey A Go Go when I was in town.
Well, that was in LA.
Yep. And you know, just that area generally is like the atmosphere is a lot different. Like, music here is powerful, but just seeing a thrash show in California was different. You know, like, what is the craziest story you have, like, playing in a hometown show?
At a hometown show in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's all nutty. Everyone gets crazy, you know. I mean, nothing changes, you know. Everyone gets wild, you know. They ride the crowd, mosh pit, the usual. But it's just something about home where it's just where it all started. You have friends and family coming out, and, you know, all your friends waiting for you to, you know. Especially when we when we do tour, we usually play the Bay Area like twice a year. Usually when we're coming through on a tour, and our annual Christmas show in December, that's when we usually play at home. But, you know, hometown shows are always hectic because it's home. You know, it's
Right.
a lot more hectic than being out, like, say, Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. We know a few people, but it's not like being at home. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the last listed question I have is a heavy one. It can be. How would you define success?
Wow, that's a good question, man. That's a really good question. I mean, everyone has their own way to view success. Some people view success as like having 2 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence, and a good job. You know,
Yeah,
some people
yeah.
view that success. Some people view success as, like, you know, getting a gold record. getting a Grammy or, just being a headlining status. But, you know, I mean, it depends on who you ask. You get different answers.
Oh, I love it. I
but
love
for,
that question.
But for me, I think success would be health and happiness.
Yeah.
That's success. Because without health, you can't really do much.
Right.
You have all the money in the world, and if you're miserable, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I rather
You got all the money in the world, but like you're not doing what you want to do during the day.
I think health and happiness is one. If you're healthy and happy, you can accomplish a lot of things.
Right. And I feel like you're a lot more motivated when you're doing exactly what you want to do.
Exactly. You could be like, you could be on top of the world but be miserable.
Right.
So to me, success is health and happiness. That's my success.
Heck yeah. All right. So what have you been listening to recently? New music? Like what?
Wow. Usually
I see a whole bunch. Is that CDs or vinyl behind you?
CDs.
Okay.
It's just a CD collection. I mean, I haven't really been collecting much physical lately. I'm more of I've just been putting things on shuffle on Spotify, So it could just be all over the place. Sometimes new artists come on, which I really like. Let me see. I'm just trying to think, man, what I could throw out there. Would you like? Sometimes I put like a playlist where it's nothing but 80s, a playlist which is 90s, or 2000s. It's just all over the place. But I don't know. What's been coming up on my shuffle lately is like a lot of pop music.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
like
awesome.
pop music. I love pop music and rock music. I mean, come on. I play metal all the time, so I want to listen to something besides metal.
Yeah, I hear it all the time where bands, they say when they go on tour they will not listen to metal because like they're just so like submerged into it.
It is sometimes, too much of a good thing could be bad.
Right.
You don't want to burn your ears out, and sometimes you want to chill. Like usually after a show, backstage, we go back there after a gig, and Mark usually just puts on his shuffle, his iPod or phone or whatever, and it's mellow music like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, or Tom Waits, whatever comes on, something to just chill, because that rush of the stage, you're just playing this blaring metal. The last thing you want to do is put on metal.
Dude, everybody. Okay, so I'm a big metal guy, but I love the band called U2. Like, do you like them or no?
Dude, I do. A lot of people love them.
U2, I don't know, man. Like, I think they killed it when they started giving their music away for free on Apple. Like, it was the smartest thing.
Well, people are, bands are trying new things in this technology world that we're living in.
Right.
You got to try new things. The old way doesn't work. I mean, people are listening to Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, the majority. But then you got people who do like the physical, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but not everyone's into physical anymore.
Right. It's just that's one thing. Like, though, a question I ask to people all the time is like, if you were a new band just starting out, like, what if you were to go on tour, what would you bring? Like, do you get CDs or do you just go all for the long sleeves? Like, because it's tough.
It is tough. I mean, that's the only way you could actually sell physical is when you go on tour, because that's when you actually grab them.
Right.
No one's going to record stores. Do you go to a record store?
No, I get them online.
Okay, Amazon or something, right? Everyone buys their stuff online, but I think the best way to sell physical is actually through your website, if you got to sell it online, or at a show. No one's going to the record stores no more. I don't. I used to when I was young, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, the last time I went to a record store was actually on tour, when you're just roaming the city.
Moseying around.
You're moseying around, you see a record store, you walk in there, but it's not like how it was, where it was the in thing to go hang out at a record store and hang out.
Right.
So
Now, when you come through Buffalo or Rochester, do you like what are some spots or like food places that you might remember that you go to?
only thing I remember about Rochester, what was it? The Anthology, am I right?
Okay. Yep.
And the Montage Music Hall.
Yep.
I remember there was a good Chinese restaurant around the corner. A
It's
pho.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
pho? That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's not that many places to play in Rochester, really. Not that I know of.
There's like 3 places.
Yeah.
You nailed that head right
There
on
you
there.
go. See, and we played.
Um,
Last time we played Buffalo was like 20. I don't know when was the last time we played Buffalo, but you know,
Buffalo is weird because there's a one new venue called the Rec Room, which is amazing.
okay,
Highly recommend it. Um, but other than that, like it's just large venues. It's just if you're gonna play these venues, like there's got to be thousands of people. There's the
yeah,
town ballroom
okay,
and some other place I don't remember off the top of my head.
yeah. I mean,
Rapids Theater.
there's a lot of big venues. Those are more for packages and whatnot. But for bands like us, Exits and all that, we have to play like Montage or
Yeah,
something.
right.
Which Montage, it's fun. I remember it's just one of those. It's a kitty corner stage. You walk in, the bar's on the right. You make a
Yeah.
left, and it's the room. I totally remember that place.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I played there a few times. The sound is very very good, but
yeah.
I'll have to take some notes on the freaking cabinet, man. Like that's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
dude, try it without wheels. You'll hear the difference, man. That's
so
me.
so in the studio, I know there's like some hidden tricks that thrash guys do to make the mix sound tighter. Is that true?
There's no hidden tricks, man. I mean, there is maybe, it depends on who you talk to, but I think when it comes to recording, it's trying to get the best tone possible and trying to get the best performance and
Yeah.
right off the bat. I mean, never
Do you use a
believe
noise gate? Do you use a noise gate?
in my rig, yeah, you do. I use that ISP decimator rack.
There you go.
Yeah, the
Sweet.
rack, not the pedal, the rack.
Yeah, because I had the pedal and I returned it. Like I don't know. It was tough.
I mean, the pedal's good, but I like the rack because I use with the rack I go through the effects loop of my Mesa.
Okay.
Yeah, and it works great there. The pedal's fine though. I mean, I've used it before, but I just prefer the rack. I think it's built better.
Yeah.
My just my thing. I've tried a lot of noise gates, and that's the best one.
Yeah, that is one thing with guitar. I'm like, do I want to get one or do I? I have a built-in noise gate
On the angle,
Yeah,
what head do you have, or what amp?
it's the Fireball 100.
Those are good. I like the power balls.
Yeah, that's the step up.
Yeah, but they're pretty sensitive on the back, right? The noise gates on the back.
Yeah, really sensitive.
It's pretty sensitive. One thing I like about the boogies is like the loop. You could assign the loop to a certain channel. So I put my noise gate through the loop and assign it to the dirty channel, so it's only gating that channel.
There you go. Yeah. I had a 5150 and it was just so noisy and that pedal didn't do it. I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't think I put it through the effects loop.
You got to try it. I mean, going through the front. Nah, I don't go through the front, man. You got to go through the loop because it's catching it after the preamp.
Right.
What you're doing is gating your guitar before it hits the amp.
Right.
You need to have it gated after the preamp before it goes into the power section.
Yep.
My opinion right there, buddy.
All right. So who are some people that are cool that I should talk to? I think I froze, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. You talked to Barney from Napalm. I heard he was a pretty cool dude.
Barney is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Reach out to everyone that you like, basically, that you're fans of.
Yep.
That's the best way, I think. I mean, I have my own live stream on it, Saturdays, and I, interviewed a lot of people because I'm a fan, and I like get to fanboy out on a lot of things.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, was it? Who did I have last week, man? Who did I have last week?
It was, I think it was called like Blasco or something, right?
No,
I didn't know.
I had Danko Jones last week.
Yeah, Danko Jones.
Yeah, and the week before that, I had Phil Demmel from Violence.
There we go.
So, but I've been a Violence fan since '86. So I had to get him on and get the fanboy out. You know,
right now. So when you talk to people or like interview people, what do you enjoy the most out of it? Like, just other than fanboying out, like
just have a conversation. Just
Yeah.
having a conversation, and I try to approach I wouldn't want to say interview. I just try to approach the conversation because I've seen a lot of podcasts and you know and live streams where, come on, dude, those questions have been asked before.
Oh, I know.
You know, so I try to take it from a different stance, like what I want to ask. You know, for an example, like I'm just trying to figure out. Like I had Chris Contos from Machine Head on one of my live streams, and I just wanted to know, because I'm a big fan of Burn My Eyes. I wanted to know, hey man, how did you write this certain song on that album? You know,
yeah.
Was it a challenge? Was it like you guys got all together to write, or was it, I want to get into the nitty gritty details of how did you record it? What kind of drums did you use? Oh, you got it done on analog tape. That's awesome. Get into that. But that whole thing of like, when did you guys form the band? I'm done with that, dude.
Oh God. Shit.
Go to the website, find out.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps it up, and I appreciate you hopping on.
No, man. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, Daniel emailed me. Goes, yeah, it's fun, dude. Check it out. So, I'm down. Whatever Daniel says is cool. I think it's cool too.
Daniel's the man. His live streams on Twitch are freaking amazing.
Oh, they're awesome. I jump in every now and then when I can to check it out, and I jump on the chat. I go, hey, dude, play some Vane. Yeah. And play something like some hair metal stuff, and he does, and it's cool. It's really cool. It's really entertaining.
I remember the day that I did the interview with him. I was like, he's like, watch my stream before. I'm like, all right, okay. And I'm like, holy shit, man, I got to bring the energy. Like, I got to drink like 3 cups of coffee before talking to him.
Yeah, dude, he's really hyper, but he's a good dude. You know what I mean? Really good dude.
Great dude.
But I'll send you a link to a couple of my live streams for you to check out. You know what I mean?
Okay. All righty.
Check it out and have fun, and hopefully you'll dig it. And I'm hoping Noise Dosage gets some more stuff going on. I'll be on the watch.
Hell yeah. We'll be on the lookout for tours, hopefully within the near future. So.
Right on, dude.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
You too, bro. Thanks.